Hello and welcome back to another episode. Today we have my MR5 April 1st format Lightsworn deck profile. This is a 40 card deck, I guess you can say 39 with Upstart Goblin. And so this deck is pretty old now, and I feel like it has a lot of potential in Master Rule 5 because it has access to Nat Beast, which can just end games, and then Minerva's a good card in general. It can OTK, it can do a lot of things, and so of course we have the main guy, Judgment Dragon, which is just like a blowout in a lot of games. And with Needle Fiber, it just pushes the deck even more forward past its normal limits. So here is the deck profile. So first of all, we are starting with 3 Judgment Dragon. So basically, to special summon it, you must have 4 or more Lightsworn monsters in your grave with different names. And you can pay 1,000 life points for cost, and you destroy all other cards on the field. And then once per turn in your end phase, you can send the top 4 cards of your deck to the grave. And the whole point of Lightsworn is to kind of mill like your deck to the grave. So because they have like effects in grave that can special summon themselves and stuff like that, and it just helps you spam the board pretty fast. So Judgment Dragons is definitely a 3 of, and there are ways to search it, but it's very situational. So next we have one of the best normal summons, 3 Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn. Basically, in your main phase, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to grave, and then if there are any Lightsworn monsters in it, it gains 200 attack for each. But that's not why it's good. It's good because you're sending the top cards of your deck to your grave. Remember, again, the whole point of the deck is to mill cards from your deck to grave. Next we have 3 Lumina, Lightsworn Summoner. This and Raiden are your best normal summons because on once per turn, Lumina can discard a card, then you target a level 4 lower Lightsworn monster in your grave and just special summon it. And so the thing that's good about that is that you're milling so much, so you'll basically have access to any Lightsworn in your entire deck. And then you can just discard and special summon it, and you get a free monster. And on top of that, the card that you discard might also have graveyard effects in on, so it'd be like a really good extender. Next, you have a 3 Wolf, Lightsworn Beast. This is a card that when it gets sent from the deck to grave, you can special summon it. So it's basically just a free summon. There's nothing else to it. It's a very good card. It's definitely a 3 of. Next, we have 3 Felice, Lightsworn Archer. So this card does the same thing as Wolf, but you should note that neither of them can be normal summoned or set. The thing about Felice, that's a bit better right now, is that it's a tuner, so you can use it to go into Hockey Fibrax, and then also you can tribute it, then target an opponent's monster and destroy it, and then send the top 3 cards of your deck to grave. But yeah, it's also situational, but it works. We have 1 Lila. It's okay. It's not the best. You run 1 because it's another name. It's not really that good. Then we have 1 Minerva. So a lot of people aren't running this card, and I decided to run it at 1 because I realized that if I mill it off the top of my deck, then I get more mills. So it gives you a lot of value if you mill it. It's not good to draw. But the one thing, it's how you search like Judgment Dragon. If you really want to, it doesn't come up at all though, because when it's normal summon, you can add a light dragon type monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is equal or is less or equal to the total number of Lightsworn monsters with different names in your graveyard. So it's very, very situational. You won't be normal summoning it. On to the next card, we have 3 Performance Damage Jugglers. So this is definitely a must-have. You're milling so much off the top of your deck that it's gonna end up in the graveyard one way or another. Also, even if you draw one, you can discard it to stop some damage and grind even more. And then what's this? Okay, that was weird. Next we have 3 Performage Hat Tricker. Hat Tricker is the best Performage in this deck by far. Basically, if you control 2 or more monsters, you can just special summon it. And basically, it's an Earth, which you need to note. So that's what you're going to be mainly using for Nat Beast. And it's also like a really free extender. It's definitely really good. And also, it's not once per turn the summoning effect. Next, we have 1 Performance Trick Clown. So this card is kind of bad in this deck. It's not like Shadal or anything, because like the only time it's really gonna work is if you like normal summon it or something, and it just really not the best. You can like even cut it, I'd say, for something else. It's just nice to have in those like really weird scenarios. Next, we have a 3 Tenyi Spirit Adhara. For the needle fiber, it's an Earth level 1 tuner, so use that and Hat Tricker to make Nat Beast. And the thing about it is that it's a really good card to just make like Nat Beast and stuff like that. And also, if you control no effect monsters, you can special it from hand. So it's also an extender because you can make what you're gonna do sometimes is if you draw into it, you special summon it because you control no effect monsters because you have no cards on your field. Then normal summon some monster, link into Haki Fibrax. Then that because it's a tuner, then you can use Haki Fibrax effect and just keep on playing. Next you have one Jet Synchron for like those scenarios that you need a different type of tuner, or if you can't like go into Adhar or anything because you have effect monsters, something like that. It's good because you have access to like Don Dragster and like Michael. And then next you have one Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. This card's definitely a good card to have because it can win games. It's like your alternative to Judgment Dragon. It's one of your win conditions, and it's definitely really good to have in the deck. Next we have 3 Charge of the Light Brigade. Now this card is insane. If any of like the really meta decks had it, then it would be banned for sure. Um, it's really good. Basically, it sends 3 cards from the top of your deck to the grave, which is good, and then it searches a level 4 lower Lightsworn. So both of the effects, like the first effect might seem like it's bad, but you want to mill the card, so you need to remember that, and it's really good because of that. So this card is just insane. And then you have 3 Solar Recharge, also an insane card. Basically you discard a Lightsworn monster, you draw 2, so it's a Pot of Greed, and then send 2 cards from the top of your deck to grave. So you get to send cards. You get to get rid of clunky Lightsworns in your hand that maybe you want to summon back or something. And you get to draw 2. So that's insane automatically. And then we have one for one. Um, Pretty self-explanatory. You have like all of your tuners for it, so you can go into Haki Fibrax pretty easily. Usually, you're gonna be summoning the Jet Synchron, so you can summon out Adhara for Nat Beast. We have one Foolish. It's definitely a good card. It can open up a lot of plays. Even if you want, this wouldn't be the best for it, but you can even like send Jet Synchron or Damage Juggler, even like Wolf to get a free extender. One Monster Reborn. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're sending so much, you get a lot of value off of it. The one Instant Fusion, which kind of sucks because it was like a really good card in the deck, but it's at 1 now, so what are you gonna do? And then one Upstart Goblin. Yeah, but so onto the extra deck, we have 2 Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn. This card is amazing in general if you were bricked or not, because if you brick, then it can unbrick you because you send the top 3 cards of your deck to grave, and draw cards equal to the amount of Lightsworn cards sent to the grave by the effect, which is really good. So you can refresh your hand basically. On Abyss Dweller, because Orcust is going to be pretty good this format, especially with Gearsu coming out in the Eternity Code. One Tornado Dragon for those back row decks. You want to get rid of a lot of back row because it's really not the best to face against that kind of stuff. Because this type of deck, like, it relies on a lot of things, and back row stuff can really hate on it. So you want to play around that. We have one Michael the Arch Lightsworn. Michael is very easy to summon. It's definitely a good card. I highly recommend you running one. One Nat Beast. So Nat Beast is definitely what you're trying to go for in turn 1. The only thing that's bad about it now is the fact that it's a lot harder to make because of like Glow Up Bulb getting banned and like Destruo getting banned. All of those cards getting banned. It's a lot harder for the Synchro part of the deck. And then one FA Don Dragster, because it's not even a bad board to end on Nat Beast and then Don Dragster, because if you like get evenly or something, you can still negate it because Nat Beast can only negate spells. So it's still good to have like the trap negate. So that's definitely a solid card to end on as well. 1000 Eyes Restrict, which is one of your where is it? Instant fusion targets. You probably won't be going for it, but if you're going second or something, it can come in useful. Another, so Mud Dragon, also another target possibly. And then, yeah, it has like a solid effect. It's not bad. And then Sea Monster of Thesis, I remember when this card came out, everybody thought it was going to be insane, but clearly they were wrong. It's a tuner, so you're going to be just be summoning it so you have access to Halki Fibrax. And then onto the Link monsters. We have one Crystron Halki Fibrax. It's I don't know why they changed the name from Needle Fiber, just so much easier. Everybody was used to it, but nope. Yeah, so you need 2 monsters, including a tuner, and if it's Link summoned, you can special summon one level 3 or lower tuner from your deck or hand. So also in hand, you need to remember it can be from hand, because if you're like brick pretty hard or something, you might have some in hand, and you might just want to special summon from hand instead of deck, so you can keep some cards in deck or something, because you mill a lot, so there are possibilities that you will run out of cards. One curious, the Lightsworn Dominion. People forget that this card is a Lightsworn card because like it saw play in Spiral and stuff like that, but it's just really easy to make in its actual archetype. One Appaloosa for going first. If you can handle an Appaloosa with Nat Beast, that's a solid board. Boral Sword is pretty self-explanatory. This deck can make it very easily. It spams out monsters, and Boral Sword is always an amazing card to have just to, OTK easily in those situations that you just want to finish a game. And a Borlo Dragon for like Altergeist and decks like that. And also, if you want to out like some problematic things, the Borlo Dragon is an amazing option. So that would be the deck. And then, so a couple things to note is that this is by no means a meta deck, but it's definitely, if you took it to locals, you will win games for sure. You need to be smart when you're playing this deck. You can't just keep on milling without stop. You need to have like boundaries. And then also, when you're playing this deck, you need to be a bit lucky, because this deck isn't 100% skill. There's an element of luck involved to it. Like if you brick and you go Minerva and you don't mill any Lightsworns, then like that's another thing, right? You need to have just a bit of luck for it. And yeah, that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, peace.